Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like you guys to meet. This here is Nicholas Engler. He is a defensive end out of St. Thomas University. Nice to have you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Feel like a lot of people really need to get to know you. Maybe an underrated name in this year's draft. A guy who has been a two-time All-American. I think it's two-time. I don't know if it's more now,
Yeah,
but
good time.
uh, ton of sacks and all this at St. Thomas. But Nick, go ahead and introduce yourself and let's get going.
Yeah, I'm Nicholas Engler from St. Thomas University. Played a little bit of linebacker, DN, everywhere around on the defense. Switched it up from our old defense to a 4-2-5 this year, and it was pretty fun playing for my last time playing in college.
Nice. Fifth year player there for St. Thomas. Obviously, one of these players taking advantage of the COVID opportunity, sticking around for just a little bit more, padding the stats, so to speak. Nick, want to go back as early as we can and talk through your story. Tell us where I guess it first started. How long have you played football?
Oh, as long as I can remember, really, it was flag football on Saturdays, my dad coaching me, going all the way all around playing like little league travel football from there. Yeah, started when I want to say when I was like 5 or 6 playing flag football.
Nice. And so obviously started out very early. Let's talk about your time in high school. Attended Treasure Coast High School there in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Uh, Give us maybe a memory from those days, if you don't mind.
I used to play quarterback. We were in the single wing, double wing, and I used to play quarterback, tight end, blocking back. Um, then still playing defensive line, linebacker there. But yeah, it was fun. We would never pass the ball. Like once, maybe once a game. Might have been even less. Like we probably would never throw, but we were just a run the ball team, and it was awesome.
Interesting. So you said you were a quarterback of sorts in high
Yeah,
school?
it was.
Um,
It wasn't really like a true quarterback. It was just quarterback, and you just catch the ball, run downhill, or your lead blocking.
So very, very, very old school, maybe like Army Navy type stuff
Exactly.
where you're just running the ball to death down people's throats. I'm thinking maybe like I don't know, you coming out of high school, we get a guy who I don't know what we're gonna do with him. Are we gonna put him on defensive line? Maybe make him into a tight end. How was the recruiting for you early on?
Um, well, our recruiting like coach from Treasure Coast, he passed away, so it was harder. I think like from what other people tell me how their recruiting went, I would say it went a little harder for a lot of people, but it still happened. Went to St. Thomas, and I mean, I had a few offers to play quarterback at other schools. It was the same thing as Treasure Coast. They were like a power run team, so that's what they wanted me to do. But really, just wanted to stay local in Florida, and St. Thomas was the place for me.
But obviously, man, we know you as a menace on the defense, uh, actually attacking quarterbacks rather than being one. And so, uh, of course, St. Thomas there in Miami Gardens, Florida, they decided to bring you in, NAIA school. Talk a little bit about that place, about St. Thomas, for people that aren't as familiar with it, and for you personally, what makes it so special for you.
Yeah, so St. Thomas, I went there right after high school. It's a small school in Miami Gardens, and we just got our turf field. We were sharing Miami Pace, their field when I was there. They are a 6th year program now, so pretty early, and that's pretty good. I feel like for me going I like how we like started the culture there. That was a big thing I liked. So that was fun. We still today have the same culture, and it's just changing to be better every day. You guys are still there working out. Yeah.
Cool. So, really started things off, with that program, and I feel like you're one of these stars, really, who has really helped that program develop. Um, Also had in my notes, St. Thomas also being a private Catholic institution there in Florida. So, uh, for you, during your time there, obviously you've been there for about 5 years. What'd you do there academically? Let's just let people know what you majored in. And I don't know if I'm assuming you finished at least something,
Yeah,
right?
I finished last December. I finished a whole semester early. I picked criminal justice, some type of law enforcement I plan on going into after everything with football is all said and done. But I also started my kinesiology master's program there, and I'm gonna get that done on my own time. I'm gonna finish it. So studied those two
Cool.
things, complete flip from one another.
So, again, defensive end there for St. Thomas. And again, as I had mentioned before, a ton of great accolades, all conference several times over, All American this season, last season. Do want to list at least some of your stats here, real quick. And I know sometimes people argue over them sometimes because some stats just don't measure up all the time, of course. 26 and a half career sacks, 63 career tackles for loss, 188 total tackles for you in 5 seasons. And again, a whole lot of other things for you, accolade wise. Mentioning a whole lot of great things, man. What do you feel? I don't know. What are you most proud of all the things that you accomplished there at St. Thomas?
Um, I would say seeing the growth of like I definitely, if I could go back and look at like pictures and just, I remember like what I was thinking then to how football is now. Like when I first started, the speed of the game from high school was night and day difference, like so much faster compared to high school. And then now it's like, now that I'm playing that speed of the game, I'm seeing more stuff. Like I'm seeing the offensive line what they're doing and how I got to react faster or how they got to react faster. I'm just seeing everything working like working on like a time clock. It's so much faster and you have to get with it to really like be able to play the game.
Cool. Anything more that you would maybe add to that as really how much has changed for you over the years? I mean, anything, again, just anything more. I mean, obviously, you come in out of Treasure Coast High School, leaving with a degree, leaving with, all of these nice accolades, and obviously now an NFL prospect. What else has been the biggest change for you?
Um, just look like you got to become a man so fast. Like, and I feel like the coaching staff at St. Thomas helped me with that because I mean, I'm still close to home, but I'm still far enough from home where I'm on my own. And, so that makes me see it like how life really is like out in the real world. So they help us. I feel like they helped me with that, becoming a young man.
Cool. So let's unwrap this obviously just a little bit more. Um Introduce you as a defensive end, but that probably means a little bit more than just the surface. Nick, first let me know your current height and weight, and then of course maybe where you played and your overall experience there at St. Thomas.
Okay. Yeah. I'm 6'3", 6'4", 280, 275. Um, when I first got there, I played outside linebacker and then which was basically a walk down defensive end at the time. Um, and then I got moved to defensive end and just switching it. I played a little bit of tackle, a little bit of nose this season, and a little bit last season. But just moving around on the D line, making it more difficult for everyone else to figure out where we're going to be, what we're doing. So,
So, I mean, as you transition to the pros, how do you see yourself transitioning? Like, maybe used as three tech, staying out on the edge. Like, what do you feel people are viewing you as a prospect?
I would say a three tech, more inside, hand down, holding my ground in the gap, stuff like that.
Cool. And so, what do you feel maybe perhaps separates you from some of the other people that play your position?
Um, I'd say I'm a lot faster than most that play like a three tech. But my handwork, my hand placement and movement, and my footwork, I would say, separates me a little bit more.
Nice. So, cool. So, again, you had talked earlier about really, St. Thomas still being a fairly young program, something that you and a lot of your teammates have helped establish over the past several seasons. Looking at things over these past few seasons, done very well, winning, I think, what is it, 9 games? I think almost
Yeah,
is like every single every single season, more or less.
yeah.
So been very successful. Talk through maybe some of the other talent there at St. Thomas that we should know.
Um, Everyone already knows the two Rontavious Farmer. If you don't know, it's Rontavious Farmer. He has I think it's the most college rushing yards in the state of Florida. And then Kendall Wilson, he was on here, I believe. But I would say like an underdog pick for our team. Everyone already knows David Hayes, number 12 on our team. But I would say Kalitri Zhao, number two, because what he preaches when your time's called upon, you don't know when it's going to be. It could be 10 times in a game, it could be no times in a game. But whatever it is, when your time's called, and you just need to be able to execute. And I feel like he preaches exactly what he says because every time we need like a big first down on third down, I would say everyone's gonna be covering David Hayes, and then Kalitri Zhao is gonna be wide open, ready for his opportunity to get in the first down for us. So I'd say Kalitri Zhao, definitely.
And just kind of focusing in on you a little bit, but maybe I don't know, talking about those people around you as well. I mean, obviously you've developed into one of the premier pass rushers at your level of play. Um, who there in I guess your circle of influence has really helped you develop into the person and player who you are today as we're looking at you as a prospect?
I would say Coach Jerome Smith, he definitely, he's really tedious on what like we're doing. So if we're not getting our hips around, he's gonna be letting us know like in film, like it might be like the smallest thing, but he'll definitely let us know what it is so we could fix it just so we're always improving. And then my position coach, Coach Chatterling, he was a player here at St. Thomas, and he became a coach. And I feel like he also is so tedious on film. So when we are doing something or when we're not taking the right step and we're taking a false step, he does let us know like, and when our hands are not engaged. And I feel like that's a big part of it is the small things on film that we fix.
So teasing this just a little bit, of course, Nick, but I mean, obviously you had mentioned a guy who came back to be a coach. Do you see yourself as a guy who might come back and coach in the future or no?
Um, yeah, I want to have a family first before I come back and start coaching. I want to be,
Fair
but
enough.
definitely want to, I thought about coming back and coaching high school around here on my off time, but college would definitely be something I would do.
All right. Hey, it's certainly possible. Wanted to throw that out there. I mean, of
Yeah,
course, want to pursue as high a football as we possibly can for you first, and then maybe come back at some point
yeah,
down the line. Who knows when and where that'll be. So,
yeah, that'd be cool.
um, Cool. Again, put together a very good resume there at St. Thomas. Want you to go ahead and just share a couple of your best memories, man. I mean, I know you've had a lot of great games, some of which where you had multiple sacks, and just a you know difference maker there on the defense. Talk through at least a moment or two that you were able to have.
Oh, there's a few. I mean, I remember, I think it was 2 seasons ago. Me and another defensive lineman, we actually they called it the deja vu moment. It was uh, right before the first half was ending. I got a strip sack and he picked it up and scored. And then right before, I think it was literally the last play of the game, he got a strip sack and I picked it up and scored, which was really cool. Um,
So you
and
said this was
I'd
a
probably
couple
say
seasons ago?
I think this was 2 seasons ago, I believe. I think so. But yeah, the coolest thing was probably the pick six I had this season against Kaiser. That was really cool there. Um, but just like the memories, I don't know, like there's no just traveling with the guys. We drove to Georgia this year, and that trip was probably one of the funniest trips we had. Like blow up pool floaties, and we would land down, and we'd be sleeping on those in the bus, and it was. I'd probably say just the traveling experiences, flying to games.
Cool. You had mentioned your pick six versus Kaiser. Obviously, Kaiser being a big rival, so being
Yep.
able to get a good play against them, certainly good. I
Yeah.
had in my notes here that you actually also had a good game against Warner, where you had three sacks. Um, can you walk me through maybe one of them?
Um, yeah, I mean, my favorite move is speed to power. So I mean, just bull rushing him back and making him hit the quarterback, and then either the quarterback falls or I'm wrapping them both up, trying to get them down. I mean, that's really all of them.
Like every one of those plays, obviously overpowering the guy like in front of you. So
Yeah.
cool. Trying to see if there's anything else here. Uh, Again, you guys had a lot of great victories over these past few years, and certainly help to grow that program. As we move forward, uh, obviously curious about how things are going to develop as guys like you and Farmer are moving on to the pros. What say you, man? What do we have to look forward to next season?
Oh man, I just want a shot. I just want to be able to have an opportunity from a small school and just because everyone always says, "Oh, it's a small school, you're not it's really hard," but I want to be able to show like it doesn't matter where you go. I mean, everything's possible. So I just want a shot to do that. I don't know next season, just whatever happens. I'm gonna give it my all, everything I got.
Gotcha. I was more so talking about St. Thomas. Obviously, I know you're trying to get to
Oh, St.
the
Thomas, they have. Oh man, I'm excited to see that because we got a bad taste in our mouth from last season. But definitely, I'm not going to be shocked about when we win.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have you've been, making the playoffs seems to be something that you guys can't obtain. It's more
Hmm.
or less just getting over the hump. Obviously attacking some of these big time matchups against some elite opponents, and obviously you just need to get further and further in the playoffs. So I mean, we'll see what happens in the coming season. As you had mentioned, obviously trying to get to the next level, of course, and pushing forward, doing your best. What have you been doing lately, man, as you're preparing for that?
I've been working out 5 days a week, speed and agility 2 days a week, at a private facility in Fort Pierce, just like the city next to mine in Port St. Lucie. It's called Borrowis Methods. So I just work out there. Um, weights Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, speed and agility, really.
Cool. Well, obviously working hard. And so do you have any idea about like pro day situation and how that's going to look? Like, do you have something lined up or what?
I know my coaches back at St. Thomas were trying to get in with FIU or UM, and my agent said we could try getting in with both of those, which will be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, something that I feel like, you and a couple of your teammates, might have the opportunity to get to. So, definitely looking forward to, what you're able
Yeah.
to do on that front. Um, Nick, do want to meet you off the field a little bit. I mean, obviously, we've talked about, all of your success as a football player. Who's the other guy? Introduce us to the other guy and talk about what he's into, uh, you know, again, hobbies, interests, fun facts,
Yeah.
or special
Um,
talents. And talk to me.
a fun fact is I am diabetic. No, not a lot of people know that I'm a type 1 diabetic. I got it my senior year, or I found out that I had it my senior year of high school, which made me go play college football. I had a different plan in life. I wanted to go join the military, but couldn't really do that with type 1 diabetes. So um, I had scholarships to go play at football. So I went to go do that and took. I mean, it was best thing I've probably done. It was fun. Had a great time. But now I love to go outside fishing, hunting. Um, duck season is about to be over here soon, so done with that. Fishing, I'm actually working on my captain's license. I want to do that on my own time. I want to be able to take people out and enjoy the outdoors. I think that's the beauty of Florida, the outdoors. That's about
Cool.
it.
So,
Outdoors.
Captain Engler sounds a whole lot like angler.
Yeah.
We're just kind of teasing a little bit, obviously, with you being a fisherman, of course. So is it out like deep sea wise? Is that what we're looking at? I mean, we're looking at a
Um,
guy who's trying
I'm
to
looking
catch
for like
marlins or what?
no, I don't want to be offshore. I'll be doing like inshore saltwater fishing. I know some spots in the lakes. Nothing too far offshore.
Cool. You had mentioned that you were diabetic, and so I do need to mention, there are some guys at the NFL level that handle that
Mhm.
very well, and are still able to, be all pros even at the
Yeah,
next.
exactly.
So, uh, anybody maybe perhaps at the next level that you're a big fan of? Like, is there like a team or a player that you like to follow or what?
I'm a big New York Jets fan. Um, thought it was cool seeing Aaron Rodgers go over to the Jets. I feel like Hall of Famer playing for the Jets. That's pretty cool, I think. So I would probably, yeah, Aaron Rodgers probably my favorite player just because he's on my team, favorite team. I mean,
So I mean, what's going to happen? You get to the NFL and he's on the opposite you, man. Like maybe you're
oh
playing
man,
like
I'm
for
gonna
the
go. I'm gonna
Dolphins.
go
Is
get a
that going to
sack. That's
be?
gonna be.
Is that going to mess with you or what?
Oh no, I think it's gonna make me want to go even more to go. Go get a sack on Aaron Rodgers.
It'd definitely be fun, of course. Uh, Want to try to find maybe some more questions that are just kind of fun to throw your way before we wrap up.
Okay.
Uh, so give you a couple ones here. Favorite breakfast cereal?
I'd probably say Captain Crunch. My dad always has that here, and it's just pretty good in the morning just to get and go.
Nice. Favorite sandwich?
Like restaurant brand or just like anything.
Whatever.
Probably say like a chicken parm sandwich.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, Favorite superhero?
I would say Spider-Man. That'd be pretty, yeah, Spider-Man.
I didn't know where you were going to go with that. I mean, I wanted to ask you that one again, being a criminal justice major. I felt like maybe you would go. I don't know, maybe Dark Knight or something. Like I didn't know what I was going to get from you. So hey, that was a good one to answer. Um, and let's see here. You have any pets?
Yeah, I have my dog. I got her when I was actually in at St. Thomas. I was in the dorm rooms and I went to the pound and it was just like crazy how it worked out. She was actually like supposed to get euthanized that day, and I got her, didn't even tell anyone, brought her back to the dorm, and then she ran out like a week later out of the dorm room. Then I got kicked out of the dorm rooms for having her. So then I brought her home, and my parents found out I got a dog.
Well, hey, you saved the dog, so
Oh
it's all
yeah, they
right.
love her. So
I,
she's laying on the couch. She does it. They love her.
I didn't know what kind of pets you would have down there. Maybe I don't know. Thought you might have a gator or two like lying around.
Yeah, we had me and my roommates when we had the apartment when I was living in the apartment with them, we got a, bald python actually, and we got a lizard as well. I forgot what kind of lizard it was. Oh, a bearded dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fun. I think I've asked you a lot of crazy questions, enough crazy questions for now. Obviously, maybe you're trying to get to the next level. That's part of the reason why we're talking. So, go ahead and wrap us up, man. Go ahead and tell all these people what makes you a good addition to any professional team, why you should be signed, drafted, and all that. Close us with your final thoughts and give us your pitch.
I don't know if anyone could outwork me, truly. I mean, I'll do whatever they're doing even harder. So, I mean, uh, I'm just excited to see what's in the future and how it plans out. And just to say I had the opportunity to do what I'm doing now is just crazy to think of. So, I mean, it's only up. So,
Gotcha. Again, prolific edge rusher. Again, as I had mentioned before, All-American. A lot of career sacks, and we're looking at a pretty good sized guy who can move around somewhat. I mean, obviously brings some versatility to the table. Could play some three tech edge rusher. I don't know, maybe even slim down, play outside linebacker again. So, hey, Nick, want to wish you all the best moving forward. Okay.
yes, thank you so much.
Sure, man. Again, I got with me Nicholas Engler, defensive end, St. Thomas University. Check him out.